Right, part two. It was a collaboration between the task force and Earth and Vessels Ministries, which hopes to use the clinic as a launch pad for further programs aimed at empowering the people through literacy. We know what empower means?
It means what Janice? This remember. Um, it means like I don't even want to say all like ruling the people, but like saying like controlling them.
That's like having power over the people, but
Right.
empower is like improving yourself, giving yourself power. What's the way you could give yourself power? You're doing it through learning to read. Because when you learn to read now, how that's going to help you to improve.
Your reading skills,
Mm-hmm.
and to know certain words, and vocabulary.
Mm-hmm. And if I could read and I improve my vocabulary, what I will be able to do better?
Sweet.
Speak better. Not just how we are speaking now, but if I'm looking for a job, I'm going to interview, I can express myself better. Then when I get the job now and I'm dealing with customers, I'm dealing with anybody, I got to be able to communicate, right? I got to be able to communicate effectively. Um, I have to be able to comprehend once again. I have to be able to understand instructions when my supervisor says, well, Auntie, bring me the blue bag. I must understand she wants the blue one, not the red one. Right? Then she might give me some instruction what she wants me to do with the bag. I got to be able to process the information and understand certain things. Chair of the NTFLE, Dr. Sylvia Henry, emphasized the importance of reaching the people outside of formalized institutions to spread the message of literacy, especially in the face of the changing definitions that define it. In the 50s, the definition of literacy was being able to write a sentence and to read a simple sentence about oneself. But today it is about digital literacy, the informational literacies, and all the skills for the workplace. You see that same point that Auntie brought over? It is like equipping you like kind of life skills, right? Even if you go to the shop to buy something, you gotta be able to understand what mommy's saying you to get, right? She might want you get one white bread instead of brown bread, or the other way around, or it's very important. No, you might be allergic to something, so you got to be able to read the ingredients. All these are basic life skills, yeah. Because you're supposed to use anything that got in like peanuts or wheat. Yeah, they're supposed to try to avoid wheat. And to fall off the wagon bar, and that's why you have to support it too. Um, yeah, you got to be able to understand certain things. When you're driving or walking along the street, you got to be able to read to understand the signs, right? The simple one we always say in order not to get lost. Bus to city, bus out of city. You got to understand when to stop. You got to understand when to go. You got to understand caution. So a lot of basic things. You got to be able to read where the different buses going though. Yeah. All right. It is quite different. And we need to understand that. That's why we are here promoting that. It is not just about reading a book, but it is about interpreting the newspaper. That's what we're here doing now. The digital things, understanding how to use the phone, your computer. It's more than about just taking a book and reading it. Also taking part were mental health advocates, let's unpack it, and vendors. There was also a mini jumping tent and a wide range of activities from games and puzzles to read along sessions. I like that. Why do you think it's important to have like people there dealing with mental health?
Because not everybody could do with mental health.
Mm-hmm.
Some people like.
Excuse me. Mm-hmm.
So we got autistic person. Mm-hmm. Not a normal person can do an autistic person. Mm-hmm. But not some people that because the autistic person do things, they will retaliate and then they're opposite person.
Mm-hmm. So we have them. That helps us to get to understand about ourselves as well. Some of us can handle a lot of stress. Some of us can't handle no stress at all, at all, at all. As something set you off, you're ready to lash out. Either lash out with your words or physically lash out. Some people, as we said, they run hot fast, right? You gotta be able to come to understand yourself, or to be able to process things, deal with things. What's some other reasons that she says some of us have like special challenges and so on. You got to be able to appreciate that as well. Some of us get like very scared, like anxious. Like when you got exams, you get very nervous. Yeah, that's a common thing. Once again, not just for little people, for big people as well. You might be going to do your driver's test. You might be going for an interview, as I said. So you got to be able to know how to relax yourself and how to focus on yourself. They kind of tune out from certain things. Focus on yourself and stay centered. It will also help you like being able to relate to people in your house, in your community, in the workplace, at school. There's a newspaper. Different situations, right? It's very important. Alright, Chetwin Rice. You said hello? Hello, my sweet boy. Chetwin Rice, a member of Earthen Vessels Ministries, said the plan was to bring the literacy clinics into other communities. Rice, who is also the Resource Mobilization and Strategic Partnership Specialist for the One Family Program, assisted the task force with, you heard me, I even said task. I should say task, right? Task force with information on locations where parents and children requested support in tackling literacy challenges. We want to have our clients being able to read and write, especially in a situation for us whereby we have a high percentage of single mothers that are unemployed, and we can't give them a job unless they can learn. They know to read and count and whatnot. Okay? Alright, you tell me a bit about this last paragraph I just read, especially that part about single mothers. I know why I'm asking her that. Let me see what you're about to tell me. You're saying that a lot of people are unemployed, especially you have a high percentage of single mothers that are unemployed. You can't give them a job unless they can learn. So tell me something about that. A lot of single mothers being unemployed.
Once they were a single mother, that can't take jobs because they gotta be home with their children. Still homeschooling their children because we try to teach their children the basics before the part that they just and then some of them can't read nor write.
And why do you think some of these single mothers cannot read or write?
Because they never been school, they never really
so you think anything could have happened to them that stopped them from completing their education?
Never could have impact.
I'm trying to get you to say something particular. Don't think about the SBA you're doing. You think anything could have happened alone? I had to spell it out. That's where I come from the beginning. I said I'm focusing on these single mothers and the education. You're getting it right. Her SBA topic is teenage pregnancy, right? So as part of it, we had a session where we went through. But her part is like group where her part is more so about the impact on the family. But we're talking now for this purpose with this article, the impact on the individual themselves or herself. Yeah. So, right. So this girl is keeping it real. So they say high percentage of single mothers are unemployed, and they need to be able to teach them. They can't get a job unless they learn. So we're not saying it's in every case, but very often some of these would have been cases of teenage pregnancy or early pregnancy, and yeah, that's a challenge because if you can't get to complete your education, then you limit yourself in terms of the kind of work that you could do, you know? probably the work that you need to be able to do. It's difficult to do that and still be able to balance taking care of your children. Yeah. So go to school and learn well and make sure you have a lot of opportunities. You would find that when persons are in poverty, their education at some point in their transition from primary to secondary is negatively impacted for various reasons, mostly financial, rice adding. You got any thoughts about that part?
Not everybody rich. I got money.
So the same when people are poor, this education, right? We know that on a whole education is free, nursery to university, but what the gentleman is saying, some point between going from primary school to secondary school, can you think about anything that you receive at primary school that you don't receive at secondary school?
We in primary school. You just be ready. Something like in your class. But then when you're in secondary school, you mix up with more people. And then you are dealing with the children that take the bigger ride and take the bigger at anybody.
So she's giving me some additional dynamics. I dealing with the basics first. When you're at primary school, you get up on mornings, you can't really get breakfast. When you go to school, is anything you will be receiving at primary school that will help you? As a poor person, we talk about poor people. As a poor person, you get up on mornings. If you could get a cup of tea, you're lucky. But mommy don't really have anything in the house for breakfast. But when you get to primary school and it's lunchtime, what happening?
Free lunch.
You're getting school meals at primary
You
school.
still got school meals at secondary school.
Just got school meals at secondary school?
Yeah.
How?
Like the school meals is when the school meals at the school. And if you want school meals, you want access school meals.
So anybody could go, or you just have to go and let them know?
Anybody. Like, I had school meals either this week or last week.
But that's wonderful. I never knew that.
Yeah.
So it's be set up the same way, or it's be like less than it normally?
It'd be in a
container.
It'd be in a container.
Uh-huh.
Or it didn't get any class, because it's a classroom or any guidance counselor room.
Uh-huh.
And there's one minute there. I get lunch.
That is wonderful. That is, hey, people, I never knew that. So there's something at all schools? All secondary schools, or just?
I don't know. I know my school do it though.
Hey, Lester Vaughn School, take my hat off to you. I don't think it will be limited to just your school. I got to ask about it. That's wonderful. Yeah. But that's a big deal because obviously if I'm very hungry, what can happen? I go to school to learn and my belly growling and touching my back all the time. What happening with me and the learning? What can I focus? First time my belly hair cutting me, I'm hungry. I'm hungry. Auntie don't do too well. Probably a bit better now. Get a bit more discipline. Not that I'm encouraging it, but yeah. Some people you don't do too well, without my sleep. I don't do too well when I'm hungry. Yeah. So that's another thing too. When you're poor and whatnot, some you don't begin to sleep. You might be in a house that you're sleeping in a chair. You got to share a bed with a lot of people. We keeping it real once again. A lot of people in a small space. All these different things impact you. Another thing, the bus fare. Yes, I think we could still go free on the government bus. Not every place that is dependable that you get a good service with the government bus.
On the bus, you free. Then get your I don't know.
That's a van, right? And some getting two. Go and then go again to get school. That's $7 in the morning, $7 in the evening, $14 a day.
$5.
What's $5?
The school children.
School children is $2.50. Oh, yeah.
And the adults
is the adults will be $3.50. So especially we got younger children still, mommy have to be going. It all adds up. So imagine if mommy have like 4 or 5 children. It's a lot, right? Right. So we talk about food. We talk about bus fare. We could talk about books. You is so much things. Hey, you realize like we just.
Yeah, that was my father's number.
It's so much to unpack, right? Just saying one article.
It tells the number, tap the number.
We talk about food, we talk about transportation. Let's talk about books now. At secondary school, you will have like the loan scheme. Like you do it probably through the library. Like she would get books that somebody else had, and then you don't pay at secondary.
Yeah.
You pay what, like petty fee? Pay what?
You gotta pay one somebody to get books.
I mean, like all the different books that you were using a year, you just pay. Oh, you
You
pay.
pay each and you pay for the ones that you can get into. And then we care about the book. And if it damaged, you gotta pay the money for that book that damaged. And then we get it for free, you gotta pay for the new center book that you get in. So you gotta pay 130 for it at my school.
Oh, I guess it's like what you call
And
petty
then you get
fees.
petty fees.
Petty
And now
fees in addition, 135 include the petty fees?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the bucks originally,
That's for
I
the
think
bucks
it's
and the
120.
fees.
It's 120 foot, 120 or 1%. So
Tomorrow it's not gonna go weird. Tomorrow, but I want.
let me
Right,
see.
so we can't deal with this because he's trying to do the lesson.
Let me see.
You want to go back in your bedroom or outside? So, food, transportation, books. So she told me even at secondary school there's some money involved, but at primary school we don't have that loan scheme in place. So at primary school you have to buy books all the time. So if you have children, obviously different ages, 3 or 4 children, sometimes if it's a textbook, sure it could pass, but if it's a workbook that the children need to be writing in, it's new books each time. Right? So it adds up. And some of these books are very expensive, like $50 and yeah. You know, it used to really annoy me sometimes. I buy books when it was going through that with my daughter. And then somebody say, and in terms she may be writing about 3 or 4 pages. Oh dear. Poverty again. You at secondary school now, right? You know, you're coming out to be teenager and you want to be able to be looking and dressing a certain way. You would like your hair look a certain way. You would like, you know, you want to have a certain kind of bag, different things like that then. And mommy really have the money. I keep saying mommy, but mommy and daddy, or even sometimes daddy him by himself, right? Let me keep the balance. They're not really in a position to give you things that you could be looking like your friends. How you would be feeling?
Jealous.
Feeling jealous, kind of down. Sometimes probably children gonna be teasing you. Let's keep it real once again, right? All these different things impacting you, right? You're gonna be able to feel settled and to be studying and learning well?
Not really.
Not really. You in the classroom, teacher trying her best. I want to be positive. I think teachers trying the best with you all the time. You ain't quite getting it. Mommy or daddy don't really have money to give you lessons and so on to help you being impacted once again. So many different ways that you're being impacted. I gotta do a part.